I will be your host tonight. And don't worry, nobody panic, I am supposed to be here. I'm not a missing child. Yeah, I know it looks like it's way past my bedtime, but I snuck out to be here with you. Yeah, it's hard to be taken seriously when I look like I just lost my mom at the grocery store. Yeah, people are constantly asking me, do you need help finding your mom? Yeah, I actually do, and I need to ask her about her family medical history. Yeah, so I know what some of y'all are thinking. She looks pretty easy to kidnap. And I am. Yeah, I have a real sweet tooth and I love talking to strangers. So I have to admit, this is the tallest I've ever been. So if you see me at the grocery store, please help me. Yeah, y'all have no idea what it's like to spend most of your life on your tippy toes. Yeah, my calves are strong as hell. No, what's really embarrassing is that when I sit down to pee, my feet don't touch the ground. Yeah, the toilet seat literally sweeps me off my feet. Yeah, I've had people tell me that I look like I need a booster seat to drive. And I actually sit so close to the steering wheel that the airbag will kill me. Now, being short is a real struggle because white people keep trying to adopt me. And I won't let them. No, they think I'm some sort of foreign luxury product. Yeah, but I was actually produced domestically. I'm originally from California. Yeah, which means I'm annoying. And I used to live in Texas, which means I'm problematic. No, I'm only joking. Being from Texas just proves that not everything is bigger in Texas. Yeah, I am so small that every bartender that has ever served me is afraid they're about to lose their liquor license. Because I look like I'm about to smoke the competition at a piano recital. And then ace a standardized test. Yeah, if you haven't noticed by now, I am Asian. I know this because the other day, a guy told me that I look like anime. Which means I'm the first Asian person he's ever seen. Or he just watches way too much hentai. Either way, these microaggressions have gotten way too creative. No, but I've always been Asian. Yeah, kids used to write, "You're my favorite Asian," in my yearbook growing up, which was a little weird because it wasn't like I was the only Asian person in school. So, suck it, Tiffany! I'm the favorite. I think the stereotype that all Asian people look alike is true. Because growing up, I thought the lady on the Lao Gamma chili crisp bottle was my grandma. I thought my grandma had a secret chili oil empire she was keeping from me. And if you aren't familiar with the Lao Gamma brand, just picture a red chili crisp bottle with a photo of my grandma on it. So I am the eldest daughter of Chinese immigrants. Can we give it up for immigrants? Growing up in an immigrant household is weird. When I had loose baby teeth, my dad used to pull them out with pliers and then hand me a crisp $20 bill, like some fucked up Chinese tooth fairy. Yeah, and like most immigrant parents, my mom had some very realistic and reasonable expectations for me, which is why when I was 13 years old, she bought a Princeton mom t-shirt. Subtle. Yeah, in 8th grade, my parents took me on a vacation to visit Harvard, Columbia, and Princeton. We lived in Texas. My mom wanted to manifest an Ivy League graduate before I even started high school. Yeah, and because of that immense pressure, I stopped growing. Yeah, I am 4'10". I am the same height as Yao Ming's legs. Yeah, I stopped growing in middle school, and I actually have a lot of the same interests that I had as a kid, like asking intrusive questions and going to playgrounds. Yeah, I think playgrounds are awesome. Playgrounds are where I was introduced to pole dancing. And there's literally a sliding pole for baby pole dancers. But I'm allowed at playgrounds because I look like a child, but that does put my fiance in a tricky situation with law enforcement. My fiance is a white man. And I'm Chinese American, which means our children will be rice crackers. But being in an interracial relationship with a white guy is actually pretty cool, you know, because I get to teach him stuff about my cultural heritage, you know, like Tai Chi, mooncakes, and tea culture. And he teaches me a lot of stuff too, like cornhole. Yeah, he just tosses my ass right in there. Yeah, I'm a descendant of 5,000 years of ancient Chinese history. He has a fantasy football team. No, but I do have to give him some credit though. Before I met him, I thought Led Zeppelin was just a guy. And that Fleetwood Mac was his wife. Yeah, but don't get me wrong, I'm a huge fan of white culture. I love ranch. And I say hot dog and holy moly on a regular basis. And I think peanut butter and jelly sandwiches are a Caucasian delicacy. I'll never forget the first time I had a PB&J, I was over at a friend's house, and from the moment she called her parents by their first names, I knew that sandwich was gonna change my life. Because sometimes disrespect is delicious. Speaking of intrusive questions, do we watch porn? Yes. Okay, so we all watch porn. I watch porn, you know, on occasion or whenever the moon is out. And lately, you know, there's an ad that starts before the porn plays, right? Unless you're watching an independent production. And there's been an ad that starts with, "Hey boys," which frankly is sexist and exclusionary. Because, hey lady, I'm not a boy. I'm a pervert. So I used to work at a preschool for at-risk toddlers. And what at-risk means is that these toddlers don't know their ABCs, but they do know how to cuss you out. Yeah, there's this one student just dumping paint on the carpet, and I get down on his level. And I say, "We don't pour paint on the carpet." And this 4-year-old looked me dead in my eyes and said, "Do I look like I give a fuck, fucker?" To which I responded, "No, you do not look like you give a fuck." And I gave him my wallet and keys. I mentioned I like talking to strangers, and I really do, but it's when strangers start talking to me that I get a little bit nervous, because when a person approaches me, they're either a racist or a pedophile, and then they find out how old I am, and then they're just racist. I was at an axe throwing place, and I'm checking in at the same time as this older white gentleman and his adult daughter. And we're looking at the different weapons that they have. You know, axes, knives, ninja stars. And then Grandpa turns to me with a big smile, unprompted, points at the ninja stars and says, "I bet you're really good at throwing those, huh?" Well, fuck, I wish I was. Like, that would be really cool. But I think this is a really silly stereotype because the only people who are really good at throwing ninja stars are white guys who can't wait to go to Japan.